guys, welcome back to another production meeting. As always, Matt, Ryan, and Alex is with me. Just a quick reminder, we are on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Amazon Music Podcasts if you guys want to listen to us. What's been going on this week, guys? How's it going?
I did not watch anything else besides the homework, but I did game a lot. I played a bunch of Mario stuff from Mario Week, and then I played, what is it? What just came out? Bowser's Fury. What is it? Super Mario 3D World. That was a remake from the Wii U version, so I've played that a bit. Have not played Bowser's Fury, so I can't weigh in on that. What else have I played? Oh, I played the PS5 exclusive PS Plus thing called Maquette or something. Maquette. I don't know what's called. I don't know. Something along that. It's a weird game. It's like playing the idea of Inception, but in like model form of like a city. So like you have this little model and you can interact with these things, and then there's like a life-size version of that model city, and with those interactable objects you move bigger objects in the real world, and then there's an even further bigger world beyond that, and all of it comes into play, and you use it to solve puzzles and access points. And it's a cool puzzle game, but it's not easy. Like, you would not think to do a lot of these things. There is no way. Like, I had to look up a lot of these solutions, and I'm like, who's gonna think of to do these things? So creativity is like a 10, but execution and their trophy list, terrible. Because you have to speed run through a lot of the levels, and that game is not built for it at all. Like, you're like, I'm trying to interact with this object. Okay, press, come on, and wouldn't register. So I like the idea. The execution's bad on that. What else did I do? I've been playing more of Phoenix Rising. That's really, really good. It keeps getting better and better. For anybody who's played Breath of the Wild, definitely this is really like that, but with Greek mythology. So, and then what else did I do? Those are the highlights. That's all I did this week.
It's a good highlights, man. Did you beat that game?
What game?
The Marquette game.
Oh, it's funny you ask, because I started that at like noon that day. First playthrough, nothing else. And then I beat it and platinumed it like that night at like 10 o'clock.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
All right.
So
good deal.
Cool.
I did my usual, just playing Overwatch. The only things of note that I watched is I did a double feature of the Coming to America films, based on Ryan's recommendation.
I think that's what that was.
I think if you're gonna watch the second one, do a double feature, because I think it makes the second one more tolerable. The first one, I think, has charm to it. It's no Trading Places. Like, I don't put it on that tier for me, but it's definitely has charm for that time period. And if you go into the second one right after the first one, they bring back like pretty much the entire cast, like everyone that's alive 30 years after this film.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
But it's like
Murphy.
It's all the same actors. Like the girl, the lady who plays Lisa is the same person. The butler is the same guy. It's kind of crazy how they brought everyone back. So as far as plot goes, I mean, it didn't go in the direction I thought it was gonna go, which I guess there's something to that, but it doesn't have that charm of the first one. So I cannot recommend the second one all over. I think that's about it.
Sweet.
Well, I went out to see The Father in theaters. This film just got a slew of Oscar nods, and as much as I would love to save it for later, just go see it. If you guys have a theater opening nearby, or if anybody listening does. I don't know if they're planning on bringing this to streaming anytime soon, or Redbox anytime soon, because I know a lot of the Oscar films have already come out available to watch non-theaters, which is fine too. Because I don't think this film needs to be a theatrical film, but I do think it's just really great. It's based on a small-scale play, so I wasn't expecting much at all. I was like, oh, great, it's going to be this little drama with great acting, It is so uniquely made, and I don't really want to give anything away as far as how the work they put into this film, but all the nominations from like production design to film editing are just this brilliant way of putting the audience in the mindset of the protagonist who's slowly losing his grasp on reality, and it is so engaging.
I didn't hear if you said is that the Anthony Hopkins thing?
Yeah, Anthony
Okay.
Hopkins and Olivia Colman,
Olivia Colman, yeah.
both of them just fantastic. Anthony Hopkins probably deserves a win. He's not probably going to. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But just a really, really crafty way to make a drama using everything that film has to offer. And we were talking I know a couple weeks ago we were talking about play adaptations. This is how to do a play adaptation.
Cool.
Interesting.
Awesome.
That's all I
Okay. So first up, I actually read my mini reviews are on our page, but I read the Bat Family Future State, DC Future State stuff. It was really good. Didn't really like the new Batman. I don't know why. Like the plot just was kind of weird. But I really do highly recommend Dark Detective, the four issue mini series that they did with Dark Detective. Harley Quinn, not a really good plot, but like the art was done really well. It's like this kind of anime style, and the inks were done like almost like a paint, and it looked really, really good. I also read The Vision. It was a 12-part series back in like 2016 or 2015 or something like that. One of the inspirations for WandaVision, and it's kind of about like Vision builds his own family. He's got his wife and a daughter and a son, and it's just like them living in the suburbs. And it's just about family and the sacrifices that you make about, for your family and the things that you're willing to go to for your family. So I highly recommend The Vision. It was written by Tom King. Really done really well. So if you into reading comic books, I highly recommend The Vision. I also I like binge watched this in a day and a half. It's Ted Lasso. Love this series. I didn't think that I was, but I absolutely love this series.
That's pretty much how I went into it too. Like I just turned it on because I'm like, I'm paying for Apple Plus. I'm gonna watch something on here. And then I just ended up binging the whole series, like back to back to back.
And I maybe it's the pessimist in me, maybe it's just like everything that we've watched recently, but I was always waiting for his character just to have like some mental breakdown. Not going to give anything away, but it was just like he's generally like this optimistic, very kind-hearted person, and I'm just like waiting for him to be. Maybe it's like his other parts too. Maybe like We Are the Millers and like other things that he's like Jason Sudeikis has done, but like he's generally like a good person, and then like by the end of like the 10 episodes, you kind of really feel like connected to all these characters. Like the writing and the character, like the acting and all for each one of them, it's done really well. Like the character tropes are not there, so I think that was a breath of fresh air. But yeah, I love Bill Lawrence and the things that he does, and I just absolutely love the show. So I can't wait for season 2 to come out.
Yeah, who would think a sitcom about somebody who's coaching soccer would be good?
Right? Yeah. And then like after I watched it, I was like, maybe I should watch some soccer. Like
No, but for real though, like the characters, I think all the characters in there are kind of original, and some are a little over the top, but they're all really well done. And you actually, you're right, you do feel something for those characters, like all of them.
Right.
And it makes it engaging. And the whole arc of it, it's entertaining. So I recommend it as well.
Yeah. I think the only I gave it like my mini review, I gave it like 4.5 out of 5. I think the 1.5 is just because like the main plot is the exact same thing as Major League.
Yeah.
That was it. Like if they other than that, like each one of these characters is very engaging. Like you feel for each one of them, and you kind of like get entwined with what they're going through. So I really highly recommend it. Other than that, I just watched this movie that we have. Are we ready for some news?
Yes.
Cool beans. Breaking news though. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Venom is being pushed back to September.
When was it?
Yay. I think it was in June. Yeah, it was coming out in like the middle of June.
I'll be honest, I thought it was already September.
I thought so too, and then I like reread the article and I was like, oh, it was supposed to come out in June.
I'm gonna be honest too. I thought they would give up on this film and not put out another one.
Oh, we don't want to see Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
I don't want to
No.
hear the term symbiote again.
It's true.
Matt, you should know better. This is Sony. They get 2 tries before they give up.
And then they'll just reboot it again.
Yeah, 2 years later.
Yeah, I never even saw the first one because I heard such mixed reviews. Like, I just never got around. Like, it's either I don't know. Like, everybody felt very meh about it.
Alex, I hate it, so you'll love it.
Oh, okay.
It is a very polarizing film. Like I didn't like it.
We did review the same on Raya, so you never know. It's always this could be a dud.
Yeah.
It's not good, man. It's not good.
Yeah, the last act of the whole movie is like this CGI mess. But take what you will of it.
A terrible performance from now Oscar nominee Riz Ahmed.
Yeah. Go figure. Go figure.
It's not his fault. It's such a bad role.
Yeah. It's really badly written. Next up, some sad news. Chris Evans is not coming back to the MCU, per Kevin Feige. Oh,
I feel like the news so far is, didn't we already know that?
well, apparently last month they said that there was rumors that he was coming back.
Oh,
Feige has shut that down. In lieu of the premiere of Falcon Winter Soldier that's coming out this Friday, actually. He said, no, Chris Evans is not coming back.
Huh.
Shed a tear.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Matt.
I'm saying, yeah, I was just going to say never. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
You throw him enough money, he'll come back. That's not
Probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. In the same effect, it's like, good things gotta come to an end. So I'm like, just stop it, move on. I mean, if he doesn't come and get something in like, I don't know, the next 2 years, something substantial, then you'll hear like, oh man, Captain America might be back. Who knows? But I agree with Matt.
They'll just like cast him. They'll sneak him into one movie and he'll play like Evan Crotch or something like that. And be like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be Captain America. Oh man, no, it's Evan Crotch.
What was the name of what's his name? Somebody, Dave Boner on WandaVision.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph
Boner.
Yes. 9 episodes for a boner joke.
So
That's what I
Anyway.
thought WandaVision was missing, though. At one point, I'm like, dang, there hasn't been a single boner joke in this whole series.
Boom.
Snuck it in under the wire. Thank God.
yeah, it's a huge case of I'll see it when I believe it kind of deal.
Well, I mean, if Anthony Mackie kills it as the new Captain America, I'm sure that they won't bring him back. But
I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll do great.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my expectations kind of on a simmer.
a simmer.
Yeah, nothing. I'm not expecting much.
Oh well. This next one's for Star Wars fans. Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars is coming to Disney Plus in April. I remember the volume 1 was only like 5-minute episodes. Like there was like 10 of them, right? Something like that. So yeah, this is for a Star Wars fan. Oh, well, there you go.
Both volumes.
Nice. I do remember the second volume being a little like the episodes being a little bit longer, but I think the first ones were only like a couple minutes long. Like the art style. I always liked his art style. It's from Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. But they're coming in Disney Plus in April, so there you go. Moving on. Kingsley Ben-Adir is joining Secret Invasion series. There's conflicting kind of like rumors on this, or like conflicting reports. Some say he's just joining the cast. Others say that he's actually the main villain of the series. Either way, I think this is a good addition to the series. He did an amazing job in One Night in Miami. Kind of sad that he didn't get a nomination this year, so but we'll talk about that later. So what do you guys think? Kingsley Ben-Adir.
For somebody like myself who doesn't remember which one he was, which person did he play?
Malcolm X.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down for it. I liked his acting chops. I don't know if it's because I thought he was really good as Malcolm X, or if he just was a really good actor in general. But I'm like, yeah.
Well,
solid
he was my favorite part of that movie, so I give him another role and see what he does with it. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Cool. Ryan, any thoughts?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I have a few every now and then.
Moving on. Batgirl and Zatanna is coming to HBO Max. I guess they're getting their own like movies. Apparently, AT&T, I guess they did this whole like Disney World thing, or whatever, and they didn't really announce that Batgirl and Zatanna were coming, but I guess they showcased this list of things, and they were on there. So cool. Batgirl and Zatanna. Kind of excited for Zatanna though. I think DC kind of like thrives in that mystic era.
Yeah, I was like, is she the one who it has like her whole thing is like being like kind of like a magician?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know a little bit of background of that character, and I think that would be a solid project to pursue. So I'm down for that. Really. Again, not knowing much about it, I'm still excited.
Isn't she in the Dark Justice League?
Yes.
Yeah. See, they'll give us a step closer to that. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if they're gonna kind of do this whole like the MCU thing with their TV shows, because like Zatanna's getting her movie slash show, whatever it's gonna be, and then like we talked about Constantine like a week or two ago. He's getting his own series, so I'm wondering if they're gonna kind of do that, go that route, and like start bringing these people together in like the big Justice League Dark type of thing.
Did we have a date for these different different shows?
Nope.
Okay, well, because I'm like, if they're all, they gotta be spaced out enough. Like, I think they're trying to immediately capture the magic that Marvel has, and we've talked about this a ton. And they're trying to run before they could even crawl, and so it's like they're not figuring out the success of one project before the next. So they're not finding, for the most part, not a great formula to kind of model everything after. So if everything is all at once, then you're like, well, now we could potentially have a lot of good stuff all at once, or we have a big pile of crap that we are stuck with now. So I think these are going to be fine regardless. I just am nervous for them because they just haven't, more often than not, they've missed the mark on a lot of these hero shows / movies. But we'll see what happens. I'm thinking they'll be okay. The quality will be fine. I'm nervous for them releasing them too potentially close to each other.
Right. Well, I will say that Batgirl, according to the article that I've read, Batgirl has actually been in development, I should say, since like 2017, because I do remember this big thing coming out, and it was a director was attached that shall not be named, but he's a part of Buffy, so he's been since let go of certain things. So he was attached to it in 2017, and then they hired the Birds of Prey and Bumblebee writer Christina Hodson to take a pass at the script. Where it's been since then, I have no idea. And then Zatanna, it says that Zatanna was actually in development since July of last year, along with the Justice League Dark series. So I don't know. With like my guess, if I'm going to take a stab in the dark, with Disney trying to do like 10 Star Wars series a year and then like 10 Marvel series a year plus their movies and everything, and trying to like inundate the market with the superhero stuff, I would probably bet that Warner Brothers is not going to be very far behind. So I would say we'll probably start hearing more about this later this year and production in the next year. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a safe bet.
Yeah. So they got to catch the almighty Marvel. All right. With all that stuff, just wanted to go over some Oscar nods. The Oscar nominations were out this week. Ryan is ready with his notes. Just gonna go over some of the major ones. This is for Matt. The original song, the Eurovision song, was nominated.
Called it.
In his defense, it is a banger.
If you say so. Original score is Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. Animated features Onward, Over the Moon, Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. Never even heard of that. Soul and Wolfwalkers. I never heard of it. And Wolfwalkers.
Oh, that one's gotta win. If it doesn't, I will scream.
Scream.
You'll scream.
Prepare to scream.
Okay, let's take bets after. So
Okay.
Original screenplays: Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. Adapted screenplay, which this first one I didn't realize was an adapted screenplay, but Borat, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. That still stings. That blows my mind. Actress in a supporting role is Amira Bakalova, Glenn Close, Olivia Colman, Amanda Seyfried, and Yoon Jung from Minari. Supporting actor is Sacha Baron Cohen for Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya, Leslie Odom Jr., Paul Raci, and Lakeith Stanfield. Actress is Viola Davis, Andrea Day, Vanessa Kirby, Frances McDermott, and Carey Mulligan. Actors Raza Ahmed, Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman, and Stephen Yeun. Directing is Thomas Vetterberg for Another Round. I never even heard of the movie. Fincher, Lee Isaac Chung, Chloe Zhao, and Emerald Fennell. And finally, Best Picture is The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. So, do you guys want to give predictions, hopes, thoughts?
Thoughts? Well, I feel bad. I was telling you guys earlier. I feel bad for the Best Actor nominees because I have a feeling that Mr. Boseman's got that in the bag. Unfortunately, or fortunately. So everything else is good. Once I'm really interested who's going to win Best Actress. It's probably one of the ones that I'm more curious about how that's going to go. I hate that they put Viola Davis as Best Actress, and not Supporting Actress. But I pretty much concur with all these. I'm very excited. I don't know who's going to win Best Picture. I hope it's not Nomadland. I mean, just for some excitement, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Right. Ryan?
I don't have a list of predictions. I'm going to do that this weekend, a little closer to it. So if we want to take bets or anything, I'm all for it in an upcoming. So I just made some various notes. I'll burn through these pretty quickly. I was surprised to see Sound of Metal for Best Picture. I kind of thought it would get like one or two nods the whole time. A lot of nominations for it, which is great. No Regina King for Director.
Yeah, that was a little surprising.
but Thomas Vinterberg was nice. I didn't get to see another round with Mads Mikkelsen because foreign films take a year and a half to release here.
That's what it was. Okay.
But I can't wait to. It looks great.
Mhm.
Good round for best actors. I would rather have had Elizabeth Moss instead of Andra Day for best actress.
Invisible
I'm
Man.
happy. Yes.
Okay.
I just did not like Billie Holiday at all.
Nobody did.
2 nominations for Judas and the Black Messiah for acting was great. I kind of thought Lakeith Stanfield should have been lead, but it's a pretty crowded lead category. So
Yeah.
I'd rather him be nominated than not be in lead.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy for Minari and Stephen Yeun for getting first Asian American ever nominated for best actor. That's insane.
Mhm.
Paul Raci from Sound of Metal. I loved his performance. I'm so happy to see him nominated. I would have never thought he would be.
Right.
I was trying to remember his name. I did not write it down. No acting nods for The Five Bloods, which I thought kind of was terrible.
Right.
I mean, the movie was great.
Yeah.
Razzie nominee Glenn Close. I wrote that. That's my entire note.
It's weird.
Shaun the Sheep. That's pretty funny. White Tiger. I feel like shouldn't even made the cutoff. I guess it's kind of cool to see it. Eurovision News of the World's got original score. It's the only thing I wrote there. Happy to see Greyhound get a single nomination, but it's cool. I think I wrote Sound of Metal should be the clear winner, and I put no Tenet for sound.
Wait, did Tenet get any nominations?
Yeah, visual effects and
Yes,
production
visual
design.
effects. I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Deserves both of those. Costume design, Emma, Pinocchio, and Academy Award nominee Mulan. Cinematography was fine. Again, another great spot for Invisible Man. 5. So here's a weird thing. This is a nitpick. So like the Academy's been doing 3 nominations for makeup and hairstyling for way too long. And I've been saying like they should just do 5. And now they've done 5. And I'm like, oh, but we could probably cut 2 of those. So maybe, what do I know? Because Hillbilly Elegy got another nomination there. But 2 nods for Pinocchio, so I guess I'm glad I saw it now. Production design, Tenet, and I'm so happy to see The Father there, but I don't want to say why. And then visual effects, Love and Monsters, which is awesome to be there. And Tenet, which great. I don't think either of them is going to win, but yeah.
Cool.
The rest of my notes are on the Razzies, so.
I had to pull up the list because I don't remember a lot of the nominees for stuff, so I'll just give who I think or what I think will lead, or who I think should win in all the different categories. Okay, actor in leading role. Probably gonna go. Yeah, I think Matt's right on that. Supporting role. This one's much more difficult to pick for me. If I were to go with anybody, gosh, it's like you can't really go wrong here. I'd probably say Leslie Odom, probably, because I like that. I just love that movie so much. I just loved everybody in it. Actress leading role, Viola Davis. I don't even have to look at the other ones, honestly. Supporting role for actress. I don't know. I don't think I've seen any of these movies. I mean, technically, Mank. So I'm gonna skip that one because I can't weigh in. Animated Wolfwalkers. I've said this dozens. That was my best movie of all time. It's not gonna win because Disney's a thing, and they have 2 in there. So I'll just gripe about it later. Cinematography. Gosh, that one's hard too. I'd probably say Nomadland, because of the way that the environment is shot is really, really effective, and it just overall, complements the.
You're highly upset, Ryan.
I can take a camera and go out and shoot a picture of a mountain, and then I can pan to the left and put an actor in front of it, and they can almost talk to the camera, and then I've made Nomadland.
Okay, man. And you might get nominated too.
Yeah, man. There you go.
Well, I mean, what do I know? Did you guys see whatever, the Maid movie, the Mexican Alfonso Cuarón made it.
I was gonna say, are
Roma?
you talking about Made in
Yeah,
Manhattan?
Roma, where like people were like, oh, the cinematography, and the cinematography entirely consists of pan left,
Well, let me
pan right.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just appealing how it looks. I'm not really blown away by any of the other nominees, is honest. Trial of the Chicago 7 is probably the one that I would think would fight it, but I don't really agree with a lot of them. I think there are movies that have been shot better, but that's just me. I don't know anything. Costume design. This is another one I don't really need to weigh in. I don't know anything.
I was gonna say, are you gonna go through the whole list?
Directing. Okay, I'll just hit directing and then the main feature. I didn't realize how long this list was.
Yeah.
Best short documentary.
Yeah, right.
Alex, that list is one shorter now that we have one sound category instead of two now.
That's right.
It's a good year for that.
Okay, skip directing. Where's the last one?
Just skip directing.
You have best picture?
What are the nominees? I'm not seeing them. Oh, never mind. I see them.
Nomadland, Chicago 7. Those are the nominees.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's I'd probably say Sound of Metal, honestly. I like that of the most of the ones I've actually seen and in this list. I like that one a lot. Trial of this 7 was just below that. I want to watch Promising Young Woman because I've heard everybody say so much good things about it, but
You can rent it now.
you rent it for me. No, I'm just kidding. What is it at Redbox?
It's at a Redbox.
Is it out
So-
on DVD? Because I might just go buy it and then you guys can watch it on my Vudu.
Yes, it is actually.
Yay!
Yeah, I might just go get it.
So that's my winner for this year, but it's not gonna be.
So just a couple thoughts. Like I agree with you guys. Actor is a very stacked category this year. Actress is the same. Like I probably would take Andrea Day out, not because of her. I liked her performance a little bit, but with Carey Mulligan and Vanessa Kirby and Viola Davis in this, I think that those are three other better performances than Andrea Day. Supporting role is another stacked one. Again, like Alex said, you could probably throw a dart and hit a perfectly good performance in each one of those. With animated, yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. It's Disney all the way. You got two of them in there, Onward and Soul.
Okay, you all can be wrong. It's okay. You can just be. I'm gonna be the hipster here. Go with the spoon
I agree
fed.
with you, Alex.
It's okay.
I
No,
like
you
Wolfwalkers better.
don't patronize.
I mean, Wolfwalkers would win if a better animated movie had not come out.
Oh
yeah.
no, that's the trick, Matt. There wasn't one. I'm sorry.
I'm just playing the odds. I mean, seriously. I mean, Over the Moon, wasn't that one of a pretty good one as well? I'm giving it to Soul just on odds alone.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
a
if we're going
monster.
with who do we think will win, it's going to be Soul. Who do I want to win? It's Wolfwalkers. But
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, I'm not going to get what I want. So it's okay.
Yeah.
We're all going to be mad when Shaun the Sheep takes home an Oscar.
Oh, Jesus.
The Farmageddon is happening.
Yeah, right.
Like, what is this crap? We've never heard of this, and it just won an Oscar.
We haven't seen it yet. It could be the greatest film ever. We don't know.
I think
yet.
Shaun the Sheep's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun series.
Yeah. I mean, I like
As
Wallace
it
and Gromit.
exists. Plus,
Yes.
nothing else. The Academy likes to nominate stop motion at least once every year. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably why it's the only competitor, really.
Right. With original score, this is Soul again. Sorry.
I am going to disagree with you there. I think James Newton Howard has it with News of the World.
Think so?
I do, because he doesn't have an Oscar yet.
Really?
So they like giving their overdue Oscars for composers. I could be wrong. I mean, they won. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross won their Golden Globe. So, and they're nominated
Yeah.
twice each. So
Yeah. As far as Best Picture, again, there's pretty good movies in all, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 8 nominees. But again, going again with the odds, that's probably gonna be Nomadland. As much as that's gonna upset me,
Yeah.
I'd rather see Sound of Music or Sound of Metal.
I'd rather see Sound of Music win again.
Right. And
60
as much
years
as
later.
yeah, and as much as like the four of us disagree with it, I did like Mank. I think it was a good movie all together, but again, that's just me.
It's okay.
And
I mean, apparently other people like it too, but that's fine.
Yeah, apparently.
All two of you.
I thought it was all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go without a single win.
Oh yeah, it was like nominated like 10 times, isn't it? Like 10 nominations this year.
There's always a film that goes like 10-0 or 8-0, or
Yeah.
0-8, 0-10.
Yeah.
True grit.
As far as directing goes, yeah, again, I'm probably gonna have to give it to Chloe Zhao. Just going for the odds. I mean, I think she did a great job with what she had, but that's just going with the odds. Sorry, Manny, what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna. I just realized. I mean, I should have mentioned this earlier. I'm a little surprised that Ma Rainey isn't for Best Picture, but then again, I looked and One Night in Miami isn't nominated either. So
right,
very, very odd.
Yeah, they can do 10, and that would fill that gap. But I guess it just depends on, because the nominees are based on votes.
Yeah.
So if they just didn't get enough votes to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already got one play in there with the father, so we don't need 3 plays.
Yeah. Oh well. You guys have any more thoughts on the Oscar nominations?
Nope.
None. All right. Well, that goes the news then. We don't have any WandaVision this week, so no television. This week though, Falcon and Winter Soldier does start. We're probably gonna have to find a name for our segment for Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll think about that later. So let's dive into our review this week. Yay. 3 out of 4 of us watched it. Not going to name names, Ryan, but
I worked a lot this week, and I did not want to drag down that work schedule with 2.5 hours of depression.
And boy, was it.
Yeah, if I'm going to watch a 2.5 hour Russo brothers film, this ain't going to be it.
I thought Ryan was going to be like, sorry, guys, I was totally busy not watching this movie.
No, I tried, and I even tried to like get it up on my phone this morning and tried to get it to load, and I was like, maybe I can get 30 minutes of it in, which is what I did with Billie Holiday. Couldn't even get any of it in. I will say I did listen to almost the entire score by Henry Jackman throughout the week. Pretty good music. I don't know if it fits. It probably doesn't, because it's a very weird bunch of styles kind of all thrown together. But for his usual, I did like the music by itself.
Mm-hmm. You pretty much nailed the movie. There's
Yeah,
a lot of
really.
visual styles all thrown together.
He only watched the half hour.
Yeah. So we reviewed Cherry this week, which stars Tom Holland and Sierra
Bravo.
That's right. Like I just had her name in my head. So Sierra Bravo, and is directed by the Russo brothers, who's Marvel famous, and it follows an unnamed guy who drops out of college, gets his heart broken by his girlfriend, to join the army, then to get married to said girlfriend, and then come back, be a drug addict, and rob some banks. Yeah. So I gave this, and I'm being very optimistic about this, because I had to give it to him. I gave this like a 7, only because I think that the Russo brothers tried, and maybe in some parts tried really too hard, to kind of like separate themselves from Marvel. Like this movie is very stylistic in 3 different movies. It's very like Dead Poet Society, kind of like in the beginning, and you kind of like following him through college and like school ties and things like that. and then you get into like Jarhead when he goes in the army. It's like this Jarhead Full Metal Jacket type style, and like the whole army thing. And this war movie comes up, and then he comes back, and it's like Natural Born Killers style. You know, when he comes home and he becomes a drug addict and a bank robber and all this other stuff. And it was almost like it also reminded me kind of a little Guy Ritchie, like his earlier stuff. With Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Even Layer Cake, it kind of like reminded me a little bit of Layer Cake, which is a Matthew Vaughn film. I gave a little props to Tom Holland to kind of like push himself out of the Peter Parker shadow, and this good kid type look. And I know Matt and I talked about it before the call that like we've seen this with Devil all the time, but I think with this one he kind of pushed it a little bit further. However, this movie lacks. I think it's overly long. Like I don't think there's I think they probably could have edited this a little bit more, brought this down a little bit. And plus, like, haven't we seen this movie like a few times? Like I said, with like Natural Born Killers and like this drug addict turned criminal, and you kind of feel bad for him. So I say that I give it a 7, and I'm probably talking myself out to like 6. Sorry. I'm probably gonna end on a 6 by the time I'm done talking, but like this movie was just overly long. It was overly dramatic. Like there's a little bit of lightheartedness when he's in the army and like going through basic and stuff like that. And then the fourth wall thing, like he kind of like breaks the fourth wall like a couple times, but it's not like consistent. So he only does it like a couple times, and then like towards the end where he's like the drug addict and bank robber, like he kind of loses the whole thing. I think there's like a point in the movie where he just kind of like loses the whole thing. It's just like following him around. So that kind of jarred me a little bit too, because it was like, okay, are we getting a narration and then not, or like what? So yeah, I give it a 6. I don't recommend this movie. Sorry. I mean, even if you're depressed, I wouldn't watch it because I think this would probably send you over the edge. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Matt. I was gonna let you.
Okay, I'm gonna go after Clint officially certified this movie fresh. There's a lot of overtly things in this film. The one that you didn't mention is stylized.
Yes.
If I want to watch a movie like this, I'm gonna watch, you know, Guy Ritchie, or I'm gonna watch Danny Boyle. I'm gonna watch something else. This movie did not lend itself to that style, I think. Once again, we get another adaptation of a novel that's, you know, heavy on exposition and breaking that fourth wall. I'm kind of wondering if Tom Holland is reading these books beforehand and then going, man, we should make this into a movie. Or if people are like, hey man, you want to be in this dark film? That said, good parts of this film are just the performances. Tom Holland is you know, good. I pretty much, it's the same performance I think from Devil All the Time. That I was very surprised with Sierra Bravo. I haven't seen her, I don't think, in anything. I was pleasantly surprised with that. And then the other guy, there was a supporting cast, Jack Rayner. I thought he did a really good job too. That said, like I said, this film was just too much. It was too long, too stylized. I didn't really get anything from it. And the end of it just was there. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't really feel like I had a fun time or entertaining time with this journey. I'm going to give it, you know, I think this is probably about right, a 4 out of 10 for me. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not a good movie, and it's too long, and there's too many edits. And like you said, Clint, they could have cut it down. It didn't need to be that long. And you also said it too. It felt like, and maybe this is the way the book is, but it felt like I was watching 3 separate different little movies put together. And I was just not a fan of that. So I want to say to the Russo brothers, can you try less hard next time?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, try easier next time.
And I was telling Clint, I'm like, I don't know why I would ever say this for any actor, but I kind of want to see Tom Holland in like a rom-com now. I'm tired of him in these depressing films. Put him in like a straight comedy or put him in a rom-com. Stop being in these depressing dramas. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
You can go, Alex.
No, I mean, you guys nailed a lot of points already. I don't know if I should give my rating first. I don't know how I was able to make it through the 2-hour, 20-minute movie. I think because I had my phone just kind of there and fiddled on it. I was just like kind of Facebook and whatever. And I think that made the time go by a little bit quicker because, yeah, it's long. Scenes are held way too long, but they didn't seem that way to me. I think because I was just kind of fooling around on my phone and I was like, oh, hey, it's finally moved on. Yeah, this this movie did not know what it wanted to be, and I totally forgot it was the Russo brothers until obviously it says Russo brothers right at the end. I was like, this is a a far fall from grace with Marvel. Now coming to this, I also would say a 4. I think I'm in the range of Matt Land. Again, this movie did not know what it wanted to be. The style, it's an odd movie to compare to, but Enola Holmes, I kept thinking, remember how she did the whole, talking to the camera thing, and then she kind of did it here, she kind of did it there, but it wasn't consistent. You guys already kind of touched on that. That happens often, but not often in the movie. Like there's a camera crew following him around, and I thought the movie was going to end that way, and it totally didn't. They just kind of they didn't know what they wanted to do. And one thing I remember, I don't know if you guys caught it, it's kind of hard to miss, but when he goes into a bank to rob it or to some area, there's a name and official font and lettering of the style of that bank or establishment, but it says crappy bank or expletive bank. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny because it blends in, but I can clearly see that that's profanity or something. So I mean, it's neat, but it's also kind of stupid because they don't do it again consistently. I think there's a couple banks that they just leave normal, but then they do the editing weird. Yeah, I told I think I texted Ryan because he was on the fence about watching this at first. I mean, he wasn't on the fence. He was clearly on the other side of the fence. And we were just,
yeah. I was trying to figure out if I could fit it in or if I should fit it in.
No, and I kept texting him and I said, dude, this is edited so weird. There is a very specific moment where he's come back from war and he's talked to, and this actor is notorious for playing roles and we never know his name. He's in a bunch of different stuff. He was in Reno 911. He was one of the main cops. But he's the psychiatrist or the doctor who's talking to him, asking him, have you ever experienced PTSD?
Oh.
Yeah, you could kind of recognize that guy. So, but there's a very specific moment where Tom Holland talks the psychiatrist asks him a question, cuts to Tom Holland and blah blah blah, and then it cuts back to him so fast, it bloops on him. It's almost like a mistake of editing. It really I had to rewind it to see if my brain was playing tricks with me, and I'm like, that is very weird. It's a very specific moment in the movie. With all of this being said, I don't know what kept me going in this movie. It's not good. Let's just establish that it is not a good movie, and it's. I don't know if I text this earlier, but I said this made Pieces of a Woman look like a calm movie. This has now moved into the Debbie Downer king of films, because you feel like you are in a drug house. I mean, the good thing about this movie is how authentic the acting is. It really feels like you are in a house filled with heroin and ecstasy and XYZ, whatever addicts. I mean, the acting in that was really, really good. That's the only thing in this movie I'd say would get like a 10 out of 10. Awesome job. I agree that Tom Holland did very well in this. I liked Devil All the Time more, but I think his acting personally was better in this. With films like this, I tend to look up, when there's a lot of F-bombs and profanity all together, I tend to look up on the list of all-time F-bombs in cinema where it lands. And this one, fun fact, is I think 26th, I said, on the all-time list. So, be prepared for uncomfortable moments all the way throughout. Yeah, this is, I'd say, a 4 out of 10. There are really, really good specific parts, like the score. Ryan mentioned that. It's phenomenal, especially towards the end. It's really good. And it kind of, I guess, emphasizes the moments that they're living and the intensity of the situations that they're in. But it's not a journey worth going through. I don't know how I again got through it. 2 hours. It's too long. It needs to be cut down by a half hour at least. So, 4 out of 10, Cherry. Yeah. This again, like Pieces of a Woman, is one of the best films I would never, ever, ever, ever recommend to somebody. Never. Great performances in it, but it's awfully shot in some parts, and it's awfully edited, terribly edited. But that's just me. So
I keep waiting for the Russo brothers to run out of Avengers, because including their films that they've produced since Endgame, they've done 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman, then they produced Extraction with Chris Hemsworth, and then this with Tom Holland, and then they just started filming that thriller with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But Razzie nominee Robert Downey Jr. needs some work, so maybe they can get him next.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's funny that Ryan, you said you listened to the soundtrack and that it felt like different pieces of music all over the place, kind of like how this film was, different styles all over the place. So
yeah, it really is. I just, like I said, like the beginning is like one of those like college movies, like one of those dramatic college movies, like School Ties or Dead Poet Society or whatever, and then like the middle of it is like Jarhead and things like that. And like I said, I gave them some props for at least trying to do something different from like trying to separate themselves from the Avengers. And I'm not going to separate this into spoilers or anything because I don't want you guys to watch this. So I'm going to spoil the movie for you anyway.
Spoiler.
But like, yeah. So like even her, like his girlfriend, like Sierra Bravo, like she does a very good job in this. Like she does well, I should say, not a very good job, but she does well in this. But it's just like her character, just like some of the points in like her arc just kind of like don't make sense to me. Like the beginning, like this does make sense to me, but it's just kind of weird. Like you find out that she's like she's been abused at home, and so like him telling her that she loves her or that he loves her, and then she decides to go to Montreal and then like backs out, and then like he's already signed up to go to the army, and they're like, oh yeah, let's get married, and then he comes back and has PTSD, and then she becomes a drug addict with him. And it was just kind of like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And she just like she does it well, like doing the whole drug addict thing well, but like her like being a drug addict just kind of doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if you're really gonna fight this, like let's fight this, but if you're gonna just do drugs, let's just do drugs. Like don't like go back and forth with it. So like the whole character arc just kind of like was weird. So yeah.
who else thought that the moments when he was in the army, like when he was not being recruited, when he was actually joining the army, what was it? It was shot, in that, I can't really do it because it was that 4:3.
Yeah.
It was that little box, and I was like, I don't. Thank you, Ryan. I know I've got this weird camera set up there. It's hard for me to do that. But I was like, that's again, that goes into the editing. That is the worst thing in this movie is that, and what else was I gonna say? I don't know. It's just that it's so off-putting, because they didn't know what they were doing. It's like, whose first job was this in the editorial department? Not good, man. But the good thing is you have nowhere to go but up.
Jeez.
I mean, you could do worse for this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Like-
was bad.
I see what you mean, and it just wasn't consistent. This movie is, you use that that little square so you can make things seem like they happened in the past, so that they're happening in the
Yeah.
background. But this movie's completely linear,
Wait,
except
does
he's
all
telling.
of- Does all of the Snyder cut happen in the past?
Yeah, yeah. That's what. Well, that was the joke I was going to say. I think he was just getting ready for us. We're getting ready for Justice League later this week. So, but it was just too much. And the sad thing, the best part I think of the movie was probably the army scenes, like with him getting enlisted and then in the war, right till he gets the scene where he actually gets has the really, where he gets that PTSD, where the van or the Jeep blows up, was probably my favorite part in the film, just performance wise. Just because also that it wasn't edited crazily. It was literally just them talking. So I thought that was good, which sucks because it's in the middle of the film. But if I'm going to watch a drug movie, though, I'm throwing on Train Spotting. I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch this movie. I'm good.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think this, like I said earlier, I think we've seen this movie done better with other directors that are known for this type of style. Like the Guy Ritchies, the Danny Boyles, even early Matthew Vaughn, stuff like that. If you want to watch these type of movies, or even Natural Born Killers, just watch those movies and kind of skip this one, because it's just kind of like a rehash of all of that. And I think that if to be completely honest, if we can take this movie and put it in the mid 90s with Train Spotting and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, this would have blown up. I really truly believe that if it was in that genre, that era, I think that this movie would have probably done a lot better then. But it's just like you said, we've seen this a couple times now.
You know what? That was exactly what I thought of 21 Bridges. Is we've seen these gritty cop thrillers, 90s and since 90s, and this is trying so hard to be those, but definitely still those, that if it came out in the 90s, it probably would be a staple of the genre.
Right.
Yeah, to your point, Clint, I don't know if anybody else thought this, but I thought this was trying to be even Tarantino like.
Yeah.
I felt it was very wannabe, Tarantino wannabe. And maybe if it had came out, early 2000s, late 90s, kind of when he was he's been a influence in cinema for a long time, but
30 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, but maybe if it had come out around then, maybe it'd have been a little bit more effective, but I don't know. It just, like I said, it's a wannabe movie, to be honest.
I mean, that's what the Russo brothers are doing. They're just making films homages to other directors or films that have influenced them.
Yeah, right. They're like, see this weird part? We did that because of you. and then Tarantino's like, no, man, don't be crediting me that. No, I mean,
you do this, Quentin.
Yeah, there's decent parts. It's just overall.
Yeah.
Not a good movie.
Oh well.
Not a good movie.
All right. Any other thoughts?
We need to. Yeah, I was gonna say one more special shout out for this film. Tom Holland's mustache. That's all I gotta say.
Wait, is that? I hope that's sarcastic, because that thing is cheesy as crap.
I think he needs to wear it full time. I think he needs to bring it back.
I literally went 24 hours with trying to forget that thing, and you just brought it up.
It's a little caterpillar.
And I looked at it and I was like,
and he's at the end of the movie going,
yeah.
That was a weird ending too. That was really, I laughed actually at the end of the movie. I don't think I'm supposed to, but it was just a weird beat. It was like I was watching Saint Maud again. I'm like, I'm not supposed to laugh at this, but that was like the worst beat that you could have ended on.
Right.
And this movie's supposed to be like so dark and so, but I guess a little redemption at the end possibly. But that last cut is just so hilarious, so bad.
Yeah.
And that mustache.
I agree.
I was looking at the thing and I was like, oh, so we're gonna go reverse Henry Cavill with this? So we're just gonna like add this little thing on here? Okay. And then like you said, Matt, like it's just like he kind of smiles at her and she's like all dolled up. And I was like, is she clean? Is she like, is this like a dream? Like, what is this? Okay.
Yeah, he had
and then it ends.
He's like, I have to do Spider-Man, and so I can't have a mustache. And then they're like, okay, we'll just CGI this one on you.
All right, so
And it
don't watch
shows.
the movie, just watch the last 2 minutes of the movie. Just fast forward to the end just so you can see a mustache.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty
If
much.
all you want to do is see Tom Holland and a mustache, just put on Lost City of Z.
Oh,
Does he have a mustache in that? That's awesome.
Yeah, just right at the end, like the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
I think
Must
that
be in
needs to
his
be
contract.
this must be a staple for him. I need to have a mustache in the last portion of the film.
Only in the 2 hour, 20-minute ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. This is 3 different movies. Like if you jump to like each section of this movie, you'd probably get like a different movie.
Yeah. We were one concert away from being Billie Holiday.
Ugh.
Are we just going to review like Heroin next weekend? Or next week?
We're actually just going to shoot up live on this podcast.
It's like, all right, guys, Alex's classic corner next week, Blow.
Oh, I like that
Literal
Johnny Depp
blow.
film. Yeah, no, man, we're just doing we're doing cocaine.
Sweet. God.
That is true. We've seen some heroin films, and I mean the drug, not women leads.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
It's a popular thing apparently.
yeah, I can't wait to see Justice League and how it's in there. It's apparently darker now. So
I'm gonna make a joke, but later.
can Superman even shoot up? I mean, his
Probably not.
Yeah, dang.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna put my
Superman.
money on Aquaman. And
Oh, babe.
y'all seen his eyes change color, right?
Yeah. Like realistically though, like off the subject of drugs in Justice League, how bad do you think this movie's gonna look? I'm just like, is it gonna look rough?
Which one? Justice League?
Yeah,
Snyder cut.
the Snyder cut.
I thought you meant cherry, and I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's gonna look bad.
Okay.
No,
Can Zack Snyder recut Cherry?
we want the Snyder cut of Cherry.
He's going to spend $40 million shooting like 2 minutes of footage.
Yeah, he's actually gonna take edits out of it though.
Then it'll make sense.
Yeah, I saw the early reception for Justice League, and like the articles, like, oh, here's what critics are saying, and it's very meh. Apparently,
Here's what Zack Snyder's mom's saying.
It's very bipolar. It's just very like on both sides of the spectrum, isn't it? Like I've read like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and like it's 4 hours, and this is what we should have gotten, and this is like reaffirms why Zack Snyder should be doing these kind of movies. And there's like the other ones that are like, this is way too long and way too stupid. Like, why are we even doing this?
One, have we ever thought about what the greatest thing before sliced bread was?
the wheel.
Bread.
The wheel.
There you
Fire.
go. Fire.
Okay.
Just bread.
Told you.
Man,
Told
this is the
you.
greatest thing. My God, it got even better. No, so I don't know. I'm trying not to think about the Snyder cut. I don't want to have any expectations. I'm not even going back and watching the previous version. I'm just gonna go and react. Now that leads me to ask. I cannot remember. Is this in theaters or is this an HBO Max exclusive?
HBO Max exclusive.
Okay, that's what I thought. Wanted to just make sure.
I can't go see it.
What?
Because theaters. It's not. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. Just
No.
Oh,
I was
He
kind of
can't
looking
watch
forward to
it in
seeing
the
it.
format he likes.
Like, might as well go see it on the big screen. Nope.
I was gonna say, do we need to like share stuff again? It's got
Go ahead.
it's got a 78%, which is ironic, but whatever.
I'm
I
gonna
wonder what
look
the
at
other one has.
what it has on IMDb. Because that's usually a better
I think it's.
indication for me.
I think it's at a 55 on Metascore.
So, if this tells you anything, let's call it the Whedon cut. So the Joss Whedon cut has a 40%, and Zack Snyder's has a 78%. So I don't know if that's just a lot of people being nice, because it's like, we wanted this. This is what we got.
There's
Or what?
probably a correlation in there too, though. That it's if we had gotten Zack Snyder's first, it might have landed kind of more in the middle. But because we've gotten a worse version now, since we had bread, now we have sliced bread. It's still the same bread, but you can
Sure.
it goes down easier.
Before we had rocks, and now we actually have bread.
Yeah, there we go.
We were eating grass beforehand.
I like how I Googled Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the first article is from CNET is why the Snyder cut of Justice League looks weird on your TV.
You're like, I have to go to the theaters to see it in normal format. So then you see it on the big screen, and then it hones down to just your phone.
Well, if you see it in IMAX, it'll take up the whole thing.
I think that was like the
Yeah.
hope is that they were going to put it on IMAX.
Yeah, that's the article I read. Yeah.
What time? It comes out tomorrow. What time of the day does it come out? Noon?
Oh, I don't know. Usually they drop at midnight, so I'm going to assume.
All right.
At
Well, I'll be
midnight
on the
tonight.
lookout, and I'm going to fire it up for the first 10 seconds, and then we'll see how normal it is.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, guys, don't watch this. 10 seconds in, it's already that weird.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm gonna watch at least the first half. See how it goes. Because we got Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then I'm gonna go see something with Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's
It's
a spy
like,
movie.
it's
Yeah.
like either interior or inferior or something of that nature.
Your interior.
No. What is it? Because I want to
The
see
Courier.
the same thing.
The
Courier.
Courier. That's what
I
it
knew it
was.
was something.
It's something earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I knew that was
The
the end of the
interior.
word. Imitation game earlier.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange year.
Stranger. So yeah, that's Justice League. Are we ready? Am I going to be the only brave soul that's going to trek through this 4 hour and 2 minute?
I'm
Are you
gonna
gonna
watch
go?
it.
I'm gonna try.
Sweet.
I'm gonna do it
Alright.
just to get a review out.
Are they gonna put it out I mean, it's all coming out at the same time, but is it gonna be like split up into 4 separate segments, or is it just gonna be one long 4 hour masterpiece?
One long 4 hour masterpiece.
One long journey.
That
Yep.
makes things harder.
Yeah. With your
Yeah,
own
'cause, like-
built-in intermissions.
Because like with sliced bread, you feel like you're getting through the loaf easier by slice. If you're forced to eat the whole thing in one uncut mass, then you feel like you're not accomplishing anything.
So is it like is the analogy is Justice League now like yeast? And then this is the baked version of it?
Yes, the Justice League is fungi or bacteria, and then this one's actually just bread.
Bread.
And if they cut it into installments, then it would be sliced bread.
Then I could eat it happily with sandwiches. But now I've got to eat a loaf of bread.
That's right.
All right.
Awesome.
So we should name it in the future if we ever change it.
You know,
Best things since sliced bread.
Cleopatra was on my watch list this weekend, and now it's not because it's got to watch this. I was really hoping it would be in 4 episodes.
I thought it was because you had to eat bread or something. I have to eat bread. I'm not watching Cleopatra.
I don't have 8.5 hours to spend on movies this weekend.
Oh yeah.
We'll come save you, Ryan. We'll get you those hours.
Just call out sick one day, Ryan.
I call it sick for 1 day, and I lose 10 days.
Oh, nice.
Thus, why I haven't watched Cherry.
Well, after our glowing recommendations, now I hope that you can make time for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will get right on it first thing as soon as I run out of movies to watch.
Ugh. Goodness.
All right. So we have no Alex's Classic Corner because Alex was busy this week, so we won't blame him. But are we going to stick with A League of Their Own for next week, or
to be determined?
Because I have a note on here, and I believe that you've seen the note that I have on my notes, right?
I don't know about the note of your notes.
Is it a modern classic?
It is a modern classic, and Alex needs to watch this movie.
Who? I need to borrow Ryan's to watch this. Yeah.
I'll text it to you right now.
Yeah, dude, text it to me because I'll have to go deep into our thread of text to find the passwords.
Just save it. Just write it down.
I mean, I have like Clint's information and Ashley's information saved in a.
So it's
in a
you.
file.
I'm just kidding.
I got your social. I got your, where you summered last year.
Here, Kansas.
Yeah. Kansas.
Kansas. Oh, see it. Got it. Cool. So fine. I'll watch that. I'm not gonna make it a classic corner. I'll just watch it and talk about it.
That's fine.
It's a classic.
Cool movie corner.
This week on movies about animated bears, and then next week Winnie the Pooh.
It's a bear break corner.
Yeah, there you go.
Bear Grylls next week.
Under the Honey Tree. There you go. So you're gonna watch that, which for our listeners is actually Paddington. So we'll move Alex's Classic Corner for another time.
Yes.
And then we're all gonna watch Justice League.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to knock out Pretty Young Woman too. So
Me too, probably, hopefully, if I have the time.
Did you say Pretty Young Woman or Promising Young Woman?
yeah, I did.
I
was thinking of Michael Jackson.
We all knew what you
movie
meant. I didn't catch it either, man. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'm gonna knock that out too. I've been really wanting to see that. So, any last thoughts, guys? None? All right. Well, again, reminder that we're on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Thank you everyone for watching / listening. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment because we like hearing from everybody. So until next time, this meeting is adjourned. Bye, guys.
Bye.